כאן היום מצגת את מר סקוט ריהון. Scott, excuse me for speaking in Hebrew, although you could understand probably half of what I'm saying by now. Scott is learning Hebrew very quickly. סקוט הוא הבעלים והמנהל המשותף של חברת רד. רד היא השותפה הבכירה העיקרית שלנו בארצות הברית. לרד יש פורטפוליו נכסים מצוין שבחלקו המשמעותי אנחנו שותפים איתם. יש להם הרבה מאוד ניסיון בייזום וניהול של פרויקטי נדל"ן לריטייל בארצות הברית, בעיקר באזורים מרכז ארצות הברית ודרום מרכז ארצות הברית, דרום מערב ארצות הברית. אריזונה, פיניקס, אריזונה, זה הבית. הצוות של החברה גם נמצא עם הרבה מאוד ניסיון, הרבה מאוד קשרים בתחום הריטייל מול גורמים בתחום הזה בארצות הברית. אנחנו רואים ברד בעצם סוג של חברה שהיא די דומה לביג פו, לא רק בצבעים של הלוגו ובשלושת האותיות, אלא גם במהות. האנשים ברד הם אנשים שמצליחים להגיע לעומק הדברים בתחום הריטייל, ועומק הדברים בתחום הריטייל, בתחום הנדל"ן לריטייל, הוא לא פשוט כמו שהוא נראה, ושכל קבלן במדינת ישראל או בארצות הברית מחר בבוקר נכנס, קופץ לתוך הבריכה ומיד יודע לשחות. זה לא פשוט. רד ואנחנו משדרים על אותו גל, מבינים אחד את השני מצוין מכיוון שיש לנו הסתכלות זהה על הנדל"ן ועל מה צריך לעשות איתו. ואנחנו מאמינים שההתאמה הזאת של ה-DNA שלנו ושלהם יביא אותנו לשיפור וניהול מצוין של כל הנכסים שלנו בארצות הברית. אני מבקש מסקוט ריהון לבוא. סקוט, please, come. Thank you very much for coming to Israel.
Thank you.
And we hope everybody will get a little bit more knowledgeable after the...
Thank you. Since I have no idea if he said anything nice about me, I will do it myself. So thank you for all coming. Thanks for inviting me. This is my first time to Israel, and it's been a wonderful week to be here. We've seen a lot of centers and done a lot, and you have a wonderful, wonderful country. There we go. Hopefully I didn't do it twice. So I am a founding partner of Red, and Red was founded with my partner Mike Ebert and another guy named Dan Lowe in 1994. My job is I'm the head of leasing, legal, and human resources. In my career, I've done over 3,000 retail deals. So in the United States, so I know a little bit about retail. For a guy that does not like to shop, I can tell you a lot about shopping centers and tenants. Red stands for Ebert, Rehorn, and Dan. I learned how Big got their name. We were at a bar. Red sounded better than Dur or Erd, and so it's actually been a nice name for us. And we're headquartered in Phoenix, Arizona, and we have offices in Kansas and Texas. So we're primarily in the Midwest and Southwestern part of the United States, and I'm married with 4 children and just had a grandbaby. So for those of you that don't know where Arizona is, it's known for a few things. This would be one, the Grand Canyon. And if you have ever seen it, it is one of the wonders of the world, and it is worth going to see. And while you're there, you can stay in Flagstaff, where Big just bought a shopping center. So the other thing we're known for is our beautiful Sonoran Desert, the only place in the world where the saguaro cactus grow. It's a very beautiful place. We also are known on occasion for the Super Bowl. And right here you will see where they had the Super Bowl party was right here. And this is Cityscape, right here in the center of town. This is where the Phoenix Suns play, the Arizona Diamondbacks play. So this is the right center of the town. And this is what we built in 2010. And Big is joining us in today. This is where our offices are. We're on the 3rd floor. When you're the landlord, you're supposed to take the worst space in the center. So we're right here. And fortunately or unfortunately, depending on the day, Big is on the 4th floor. So we have the big guys are in our offices all the time. They steal our ice. And we've learned that Israelis make a lot better coffee. So my employees go upstairs all the time. But Mickey and Iran and others are there. And interestingly, a few of our asset managers that were Big employees went and moved upstairs. And so they're now in the upstairs in the Big office. So some Red employees are now Big employees and they're upstairs. And they were the asset managers for the properties that we share. So that's a Cityscape, and it's over 1 million square feet, mixed use. It has retail, office, apartments or residential, and then also a hotel. And for the months of November and December and first part of January, we actually closed our central street down and put an ice skating rink in the desert, which is pretty funny, but tens of thousands of people actually use it every year. It's quite an attraction. So here's where Red has shopping centers. So as you can see, primarily in the southwest part of the country and in the Midwest. Interestingly, I was Googling when I was driving around with High and Metropolitan Phoenix, which is right here. Our metropolitan area has more land area than Israel. So that puts a little oops. Sorry, there we go. Puts a little perspective. So here's a list of the shopping centers that we currently have open, the ones that we've built along the way and sold, and the other projects that we have under development. As I mentioned, we were founded in 1994. This here is Village Point, which is the first project that we did with Big as an investor. And it is probably our most successful in Omaha, Nebraska. It does $660 a square foot. And as you can see, it's 600,000 square feet. So it's been interesting. Most of our smallest properties are your largest, or the Big here. So it's just, we have a lot more land to work with, and the retailers are a lot bigger spaces. We have 160 employees. I have no idea why they took this picture to show as employees, because these aren't ours. But there's Eitan, right there, if you look closely. We currently own and manage 13 million square feet. Here again is our ice skating rink at Cityscape. which it says 1,200,000 square feet. Our portfolio is currently 95.7% leased. And so most of what we spend our time doing, I've learned as I've traveled around with High, is we're continually just trying to make our centers better, how we can constantly improve them, increase our NOIs. And as I said, or showed in my start, retail is evolving, and so that's the other thing we're working on, is constantly evolving, and I'll touch base on that here in a minute. We have actually developed over 13 million square feet from the ground up, from dirt, and we still own about 8 million of those 13 million square feet. This is a project in Lincoln, Nebraska, which I will show you here in a minute. We've owned it for about 20 years, built it 20 years ago, and it's also a property that Big has just bought into, and it's you'll see why here in just a few minutes. It's a really fantastic center, and it is the best center in Omaha, Nebraska, or in Lincoln, Nebraska, sorry. We currently have 1.15 million square feet under construction, and that's a cost of about $430 million. This picture was taken last week. This is a project that we're building in Dallas, Texas, and if you need to know anything, like Tel Aviv, Dallas is probably the most booming city in the United States. It is cranes everywhere. Last year, or in the last 5 years, sorry, we've our shopping centers have increased an average of 6.2% annually on our NOIs. And so a market that's been relatively flat, we continue to be able to have increases. So far this year, our team's done 137 new leases or renewals for 756,000 square feet. So briefly, I wanted to touch base on the U.S. economy. It's been interesting as I've talked to people here, their thoughts on retail in the United States. And so we want to just touch base on that really quickly. As you can see, in July, we had our 82nd month of consecutive national employment growth. Our unemployment rate's now down to 4.3%, which is the lowest in the last 10 years. Interestingly, the fundamentals of retail are still stable. As you can see, in the second quarter, the availability of space was 7%. This is the interesting one we'll talk about here again. But there have been numbers of stores closing and bankruptcies, which we'll talk about. However, there's been about 26 million square feet absorbed in the United States so far this year. So it's not been a negative absorption, it's been a positive one. What you hear on the news all the time is malls in the United States are closing right and left. Some of them are, that's true. There's a reason for it, and I'll explain why. Tenants are going bankrupt over and over, and for some reason the press just wants to keep focusing on that. And so far, over 8,000 stores have closed this year alone, and the one that I love is a guy that builds bricks and mortar is Amazon's taking over the world. No one's going to go to bricks and mortar anymore. And though I will say, as something to understand, I'll tell you why here in a second, 25% of the malls are predicted to close. Enclosed malls, not outside malls. Enclosed malls are predicted to close in the next 5 years. There are a list of these retailers right here that have filed for bankruptcy. I promise you that if you lived in the United States, in the last 10 years, you would not have walked into any one of these stores. In my opinion, they should have filed bankruptcy a long time ago. They held on thinking that the old ways would come back and did not evolve, and now they have filed bankruptcy. Here's a list of the tenants, and you can see, interestingly, Payless Shoes closed 700 stores. They still have 4,000 open. But all we hear about is the 700 stores that they closed. And again, Amazon's taking over the world. They're pretty good, I will tell you that, but we're going to touch base on that real briefly in a second. But that all being said, I had to put this up here because you guys, if you read about it, when our president gets, anybody says anything negative about him, he says it's fake news. It's fake news, fake news. Well, for whatever reason, they don't want to say anything positive about retail in the United States. Maybe they're all the journalists or investors in Amazon, but there's really not a lot of basis behind it. Interestingly, by the end of the year, they're projecting 10,000 stores in the United States to close, but there are going to be 14,000 stores that open. So again, something that you very seldom hear about when you're reading. A lot of it is discount oriented, and a lot of it is vanity. Fashion is not a big thing in the United States right now, so it's vanity, which would be beauty supplies and cosmetics and yoga studios, etc. And then there's no let up at all in the discount retailers. They continue to, people that are providing a value continue to do well. As you can see, that they're expected to be 6.9% up in 17 and 5.4% in 18. Department stores, as you can see, would be down 9% and then down 2%. They're still struggling, mainly because they have not adjusted to retail today. My quick predicament, just my opinion, is two things on this slide. Is one, I think in the next 24 months, Sears will be gone. I hope. They've caused a lot of trouble. I think these other people will all still be around for years and years to come. Maybe differently, but they will be around. As an example, JCPenney's is already taking over all of, Sears is known for their tires and batteries and their craftsman tools on top of their soft goods. JCPenney's is now taking that over. Dillard's has got close to $1 billion in cash. Macy's is downsizing stores, but then they're adding new brands. They're buying new companies, smaller retailers, some very successful ones like Blue Mercury is an example. And Nordstrom's is Nordstrom's. Nordstrom's has a great following, and they'll grow and they'll slow down, but they're one of the most fantastic, very service quality oriented stores that we have. But I'm gonna go back. The other thing I was going to tell you is the reason, a lot of what's different in the United States and in Israel is, and I've been working with Mickey and Iran to explain this to them, is the reason that these malls, particularly the C and D malls, not the good ones, the great malls are still great enclosed. But in every single mall, the landlord has given every single one of these guys approval rights. You cannot expand a building, tear down a building, move, tear down a tree, repaint the shopping center, anything without all of these guys' approval. And for whatever reason, these guys will not come together and say, we got to start doing some stuff, because some of them enclosed malls are the best real estate in the United States, and they're absolutely dying because these guys won't allow it to change. They're still 20 years behind, and some of them need to be demalled. And when that opportunity comes, when these guys figure it out, there'll be some great real estate investments. The good news is that Big and Red are not in the enclosed mall business. Never have been, never will be. As I just mentioned, if there's a couple of those enclosed malls, if we can buy them, we would love to, and the first thing we do is make sure they were not enclosed anymore. We would demall them, as they say. The difference is, as you can see, this is a project that Big bought into with us recently in Sparks, Nevada, which is 1,300,000 square feet. And they're centers that are entertaining, where people come to shop and to eat and to be entertained. This theater right here has IMAX Cinema, which is in the top 4 IMAXs in the United States, usually just second behind Times Square. And if you saw the difference between New York City and Reno, Nevada, you would scratch your head. Our centers are safe, convenient, and fun. Again, here's the center that we have in Omaha, Nebraska. Here's a power center, as we call them. We provide the best tenants for the market. And this center is almost 500,000 square feet, and it's 100% leased. And we have a waiting list of people that would like to be in this one. By the way, that's a normal neighborhood in the United States, in the suburbs. That's what Arizona looks like. Again, this is a property we own in Madison, Wisconsin, and it's we're very focused on creating a great atmosphere, comfortable atmosphere, where it's clean and safe and wonderful landscaping and places that people would want to hang out and be. Quickly on Amazon, though they're phenomenal, interestingly, you see that, this is again just my opinion, but back in the day, Walmart used to come to all the small towns and put all the little retailers out of business. But they actually didn't put all the retailers out of business, they just put the bad ones out of business. But the good ones survived and learned to be better operators at what they did. Now Amazon better look out, and because Walmart is on their tail. Amazon's not made, but I think profits once. They haven't paid dividends. They haven't showed how they were going to. Like I said, it's an amazing company. Aton taught me the word, though. They're just dumping. They're dumping their prices to keep things low. Interestingly, though, Walmart they have a store within 10 miles of 92% of the population of the United States, because they have 4,000 supercenters, 700 neighborhood markets, 660 Sam Clubs. So their delivery systems, their ability to have groceries, all that stuff close to people is already in place. And Walmart always knows how to make a profit, always. So it's going to be interesting, in my opinion, to see them compete. There was an article after we published this that just came out yesterday that said, look out, Amazon, Walmart is on your tail. So it's going to be interesting to see. That being said, retailers are getting into the internet business, and the internet tenants are getting in the bricks and mortar business. You have to have both. I was just with the head of real estate for Home Depot, and he said that we just need to make sure that it doesn't matter to us if a shopper starts their experience online and ends up in the store, or starts in the store and ends up online. We just want their business, and we want it to be seamless. And so you're seeing a lot of that. But I will say that the retailers that are thriving today have embraced the e-commerce. Customers changed, and the retailer must change to succeed with it. Again, here's just a list of some of the e-commerce tenants that have now opened stores in bricks and mortar. Interesting, as I said, that you have to, the change in the United States is we have 75 million baby boomers who are not the primary shopper anymore. And the retailers that are filing bankruptcy, et cetera, have been the ones that have been focused on the baby boomers. Now we have tripled between the Gen X, the millennials, and the Generation Zs. And so those 3 generations, especially the Generation Z and the millennials, are expected a different type of shopping experience that the traditional retailers that have not made the adjustments have suffered from. And here's just new rules for the new rules for success in retail.
how experiential marketing fits in evolving customer service. So that's the biggest thing, and why we are actually doing that with our centers as well, is this generation expects an experience. So thought I'd show you this. This is my youngest kid. He's 16, playing our version of football. Thinks he's cool. But I want to give you an example, though, of how American kids, he's actually Generation Z, so he's had a phone, he's had a smartphone his entire life, does not know what it means to be without it, literally. And I watched him the other day. He wanted to get a pair of new Nikes, and I said, well, let's go to the shopping center and let's look for Nikes. He looked at me like I had two heads. Why would I do that? I'm like, all right. So I watched him and I asked him actually what he was doing. He went and shopped online and figured out which Nikes he wanted. And then he said, all right, these are the ones I wanted. I said, well, then let's go to the mall. He goes, no. I got to find out who has them. So he went online and found out which store had them. Then he found out if they had his size. God forbid he'd get up and move. He wanted to know all this stuff before he left. But then he couldn't wait for 2 days for the shoes to show up. He had to have them right this second, because that's this generation. Instant gratification all the time. And he also wanted to try them on, touch them, feel them, because if they didn't fit, he's too impatient to send them back. So he used his phone to start on this whole thing, left, came back 30 minutes later from the bricks and mortar and had purchased the shoes. So it's an example of where that retailer made it seamless for him, and they were not going to lose his business. And like I said, God forbid he waste any time. He was back on the couch and nothing flat. This is my dog Goose. He has nothing to do with this presentation. I just wanted to see him. So the red projects, again, what's been very interesting, I'm going to run through a few things here that we have under construction. But what's been very interesting is, I've commented on a couple times, but the big red group is very intertwined. We have been working together already for quite a while, but now they're here in the United States. And as I've told Eitan and Hi, Mickey, who most of you know, is a pain in my butt. He's in seeing me all the time, but we really are loving working with these guys, and they have a great group of people. When I've been touring the shopping centers and meeting all the general managers, I will tell you, I was telling Eitan at dinner last night, centers are nice, I like what you're doing, but the people were identical to my red employees. The way they took care of the centers, I love it when you're walking along and they see a piece of trash and they, put it in their pocket, whatever. But I mean, just their personalities, everything about them was very similar to the red people. So I think that our employee base here in Israel, in the United States, at Big and at Red, are the same type of people that are hardworking and enjoy what they do. Real quickly, here's the projects that we have under construction. Again, mixed use is the evolution. This is a little exaggerated evolution of retail, but what I showed you under construction a minute ago, this is the Union in Dallas, and it's going to open in 19. It's 800,000 square feet. This is a grocery store, and then we have 38,000 feet or 8 restaurants, and then we have residential and office. So the office is built about here right now, and we are about 80% pre-leased on the office space. Cityscape, which we talked about earlier, that we're excited to have Big as partners on. It is where our corporate offices are. It is really the best project in Phoenix, the best office building in Phoenix. The apartments were for rent, not for sale, which is a little different for you guys, but it's the highest rents in the market. The whole center's retail is 100% leased, the office building is 100% leased, the apartments are leased, the hotel on TripAdvisor is the #1 hotel in Arizona. So it's been very successful. So right here, that block where the Super Bowl is will no longer be able to be there because we have it under construction. So we've purchased this block, we call it Block 23. We're building another 600 and almost 80,000 square feet. That's started already. And this is what it will look like. And will open in the spring of 19 also. Here you have another grocery store. This is in downtown Phoenix. So they're a grocery store, 3 restaurants, office, and more residential. So this is more traditional to what we've done in the past. This is Razor Ranch, which is in Denton, Texas. This is a center that is about 600,000 square feet, but we've added a lot of mixed use to it. By the way, here's the site plan, but across the street, right here, in the last 3 years, we built 800,000 square feet of big box tenants that have done really, really well, and so now we're adding on. But at this property, again, we actually sold off a piece to do 300 apartment units. We have a hotel and convention center that's 11 stories tall, 75,000 foot convention center. We have a movie theater under construction. We have a bowling alley and family fun. We have some senior living going here. We have a grocery store, Winco grocery store that does over $1 million a week in sales here. And we're working on the town center portion now. Here's a look at the convention center that will open next month. And this will tell you, this site's over 100 acres. So where we build a shopping center, you guys could put a city. It's a big piece of land, but we have it under construction right now. So the thing that I wanted to show you real quickly was the projects where, give you 4 examples. We're doing it on every project, but like I mentioned, but 4 examples of where we are working on upgrading projects. So Summit Fair and Summit Woods is 1,300,000 square feet. There's no competition within 10 miles. And this is a project that everything that here on out I'm going to talk about are both red and big projects. So we've had a power center on this side of the street that's 700,000 square feet, and it's been leased 100% for almost 20 years. And it's one of our very best centers. We have another lifestyle center over here, which is open air. And this last year, we moved Dick's Sporting Goods from here over to here and added H&M and some other shops, and then backfilled this particular space. I always like to show this Bath & Body Works, which is owned by Victoria's Secret, same group. Their average is about $500 a square foot, and this one does $1,365 a square foot. So this is to give you an example of the lifestyle center, the type of quality that we do. And then in June we opened, as I just mentioned, the Dick's Sporting Goods and the H&M. It's about 75,000 feet of new construction. It cost us $12 million. We added 1.1 million to the NOI. By adding them, Dick's Sporting Goods and H&M to the site, they told us what they thought their new traffic would be. So We think we're going to generate 1 million new trips to the shopping center a year that weren't currently coming here. This is a picture of the Dick's Sporting Goods. Again, this is 50,000 square feet. And the H&M, which is 20,000 square feet. Camelback Colonnade is in Phoenix, Arizona. It was built in 1964. It was an enclosed mall that's been demalled. Is now probably the best power center in the United States. And we have a property right next door named Town and Country that we're working with Big on right now to get Big involved. We already own all of this. Big is in this and working on the deal right now for this. But this is a great example again. And I went and looked at Bashura. Where were we?
Yeah,
is that right? Bashara. And saw all the tenants. They were moving around and from here to there and all over the place. And great center, obviously. And here we took out linens and things and built an 80,000 square foot Whole Foods. And we tore down a corner and built a Container Store. And we tore down a movie theater and that was cruddy and put in a Nordstrom's Rack and new restaurants and hot yoga, which looks like I'm going to right now. And then on this side of the street, on the Camelback Colonnade side, oh, hold on, there's a few pictures of the Town and Country. And then the Camelback Colonnade side, just in the last few years, interestingly, Best Buy was paying us $12 a square foot and 47,000 square feet. And everybody thinks, oh, retailers in the United States are downsizing, they're downsizing. They're not necessarily. We renewed them in 47,000 square feet at $17 a square foot. We just expanded the grocery store. This is one of the hottest corners, and believe it or not, there's a gas station and a car wash, and they were on a $200,000 a year ground lease, and we just renewed it for $500,000 a year. So if you sell that at a 4.5 or 5 cap, that's a lot of money. In addition, we have a public library here that we're getting under contract, and we're looking to redevelop this entire piece with residential and more retail. So this is a good example of the type of thing we're doing on most all of our projects. This is what Camelback Colonnade looks like, and we're in the old mall part, down in the basement. If you ever have the chance to come there and the nerve to go down there, there's Nordstrom's has one store in the United States called Last Chance, and it's down in the basement. It's 25,000 feet, and last year it did $49 million in sales. And you take your health and your own risk by going down there. People are fighting for clothes and stuff. Goods. Project that recently Big has bought into, the outlets and the Legends. It's Sparks, Nevada. This is in Reno, Nevada. It's 19 miles from California. California is almost running out as many people as they can, it seems like, because of the high taxes. The state of Nevada has zero income tax, so a lot of people want to be there. Big companies, the Apple Cloud is in Sparks. Google's building a plant there. Tesla's batteries plant has just been built here. It's over 2 million square feet. When Tesla's done, it'll be 10 million square feet. So we have a large project here that is by far the best project in the market. And we have 2 new hotels under construction, a casino, because it's Nevada. Casino will start construction hopefully by next spring, but we have just started construction here on more shops and more pads. And so we have 90,000 square feet under construction. That's going to be opening in March. Cost us $14 million, and we increased our NOI by $1,460,000. The Shields Sporting Goods, which is in this the center, again, is something to see. This is a 240,000 square foot sporting goods store. So this store by itself is as big as a lot of the malls here in Israel. And it's a 110-year-old family-owned business, the best sporting goods store in the world. We have a few of them in our portfolio. You can see that it's very entertaining. They have a Ferris wheel inside. They have stuffed bears, and it's like a museum. You would, it's interesting to see. Again, the type of project that we build, the quality of project that we build. The last one that I wanted to show you was South Point Pavilions. This is an example of, I have to do this just because it's fun, but this center we've owned for 20 years. It's been very successful. Does just under $400 a square foot. It's the #1 project in town. And Shields, our sporting goods store that I just mentioned in Reno, has been here doing $50 million in sales in 80,000 square feet. And now they want to do they're a big prototype store. And you can't say no to Shields. They're a great draw for us. And so we decided we need to move some tenants around. We did not have approval rights to move any of these tenants, not one. And so we got on airplanes and flew all over the country. As you know, some of our tenants are 4.5 or 5 hours by airplane away. And I'm jealous of Hi, because he does deals on WhatsApp. We don't have that we have it in the United States. No one's gotten that yet. So it's painfully a little bit slower here. But interestingly, we got Von Maur, our department store, to allow us to put a pad, and we moved this tenant over to here, and we took the Michaels and moved them and built them a building here. Got Office Depot to downsize and moved Famous Footwear there. This was funny. Kicked out Ann Taylor, moved Hallmark to Ann Taylor space, moved the Dress Barn to the Hallmark space, and now we're building all of this now. And we are also working to kick out the Gap and Banana Republic and move Victoria's Secret over. So there's all kinds of things that we're doing here to increase NOI, a project we've owned, like I said, for 20 years, and now we're looking to do the upgrades. Here's just real quickly a few pictures of the center. This is the Shields that's under construction, right? This was last week. So you can see this will be 240,000 square feet, and when it gets done, we will tear the old Shields down, build a parking deck behind, and then build new shops leading into our courtyard. This is the open air portion of the center. Just interestingly, Mickey wanted me to put this just so for those of you who didn't want to do the math, that the Shields is more than 20,000 square meters. And this project will be a new 250,000 square feet. It's costing over $100 million to build. The city, Shields, and us have all put in money. And the cost to Red is about $28 million. And we're projecting our NOI for this center to be over $8 million in 2020 once we get all of these changes done. So here's the team last 2 weeks ago in Phoenix. My partner Mike Ebert, Mike Counter, who's our head of leasing, and Brett Heron, who's our CFO, and you know most of these other characters. And what I will tell you is, for us, it's been a great partnership. Love working with these guys. They are very involved in every day-to-day deal. We agree on the pro forma. We agree on the budget. If there's a deal that's outside of the budget, I run upstairs, grab Mickey or Ron, say, this one's not budget. Why should we do it? And tell them why. They say yes or no. We go do it. But they're very involved in all that. They help us set the budgets. They're in our, every Monday, we have meetings to go through all of our shopping centers, and they're in all of those meetings. And now that I've been teaching myself a little Hebrew, I get to mess with them when they break out into Hebrew because they want to say something quickly to each other. So I enjoy messing with them. The thing I will tell you in closing is I think retail's booming in the United States. I was sitting last night ready to go to dinner with these guys in the bar, and I was talking to a couple from San Francisco, and they said, "Why were you here?" And I told them to give a speech, and I said, and I've met all these people at the shopping centers, and they say, "Wow, retail's dying in the United States." And the people in that they were from the United States looked at me and said, "You're kidding me, right? Every center anywhere that's around us is absolutely booming." So I promise you, if you come to the United States, you'll see centers that are booming. What I will leave you with, though, is I think that the United States is years ahead, fashion-wise, development-wise. We're years ahead of Israel in retail. And what's popular today, Hai and I were going through some tenants that he was all excited that they have because they're doing really well here in Israel. They're not doing so good in the United States. And we're reinventing every one of our centers. They're evolving, and we're putting more restaurants in. We're putting more entertainment in. As I mentioned, more vanity. And what I think that is great is for Big, even here in Israel, is they're going to have the advantage because, in my opinion, Israel's retail follows what's happened in the United States. And I think that these guys are going to have like a crystal ball. Because they're going to have experienced it in the United States, and they're going to be able to see things coming that's going to happen here in Israel in the very near future, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, or 10 years out. And I think that it's going to be a great opportunity for them to start making changes and evolving their centers from what they've learned with us in the United States. So I appreciate everybody's time, and thank you very much for having me.
למי שלא מכיר, לי קוראים חי גליס, אני חלק מביג כבר קצת יותר מ-14 שנה, מכהן כמשנה למנכ"ל מיולי שעבר, כשישראל סיים את תפקידו, ואני אחרי האינפורמציה שקיבלתם על רד ואחרי כל הנאומים שלנו ושל אסף ושלי ושל יעקב במצגות השונות לאורך כל השנה, אני מקווה שקיבלתם טעימה מי זה רד, מה הם יודעים לעשות, מי זה, והכי חשוב, מי זה האנשים ברד. ברשותכם, אני אגע ממש בקצרה בכמה נקודות בעיקרי התוכנית האופרטיבית שלנו, של ביג בארצות הברית, מה בעצם אנחנו עושים שם היום. אז למי שלא לגמרי זוכר את הפרטים, כרטיס הביקור של החברה שלנו בארצות הברית נכון להיום, בעצם אנחנו מחזיקים את החברה בארצות הברית, ביג USA, חברה בבעלות שלנו 80%, בשותפות מגדל שמחזיקה עוד 20%. אנחנו מחזיקים היום נדל"ן בשווי של יותר מיליארד דולר, חלקנו כ-964 מיליון דולר. המרכזים שלנו היום בתפוסה של כמעט 93%, קצת פחות מהמרכזים של רד, יש לנו עוד עבודה. ביחד, היינו היה מייצג של המרכזים, חלקנו כ-58.4 מיליון דולר. אוקיי, 3 נקודות שבעצם מתמצתות את עיקרי הפעילות שלנו שם היום, ודברים אסטרטגיים שאנחנו צריכים לעשות ואנחנו עושים בימים אלה. בעצם בשנים האחרונות, החל מתחילת הפעילות שלנו בארצות הברית, התרכזנו ביצירת תיק נכסים, התמקדנו ברכישה, התמקדנו ביצירת פורטפוליו שיוכל לאפשר לנו להיות חברה משמעותית בעולם מרכזי הקניות של ארצות הברית. עשינו את זה בהצלחה רבה לאורך השנים, יצרנו תיק נכסים מרשים, כ-27 מרכזים, שכל אחד מהם תרם את התרומה שלו, ובסופו של דבר היום יש לנו תיק נכסים מאוד משמעותי. אבל אנחנו לא שחקן פיננסי, אנחנו שחקן שיודע לתת value, ובשוק מרכזי הקניות של היום יש פחות מקום להשקעות, ויש מקום רחב מאוד לשחקן, לחברה שיודעת לעשות את העבודה, יודעת לייצר ערך ממרכזים קיימים. ראיתם אותנו עושים את זה בישראל לאורך הרבה שנים, ואנחנו מתכוונים לעשות את זה בארצות הברית גם בשנים הקרובות. בעצם בשביל לחזור ל-DNA שלנו, עשינו השנה פעולה מאוד משמעותית. הזזנו את המשרד שלנו, הזזנו את החברה שלנו מלוס אנג'לס לפיניקס. למה? כי רד נמצאים שם, רד שותפים שלנו בכמעט חצי מהנכסים שאנחנו מחזיקים. רד קיבלה בשנה האחרונה את יתר המרכזים שלנו, שהם לא חלק מהנכסים שאנחנו מחזיקים איתם במשותף, כפרופרטי מנג'מנט. אנחנו הקמנו ביחד איתם את חברת ברם, ביג רד אסט מנג'מנט, בעצם חברת אסט המנג'מנט שיושבת מעל חברת הפרופרטי מנג'מנט, שזה רד. ראיתם בהסבר של סקוט, אנחנו יושבים איתם, אנחנו יושבים ביחד איתם, אנחנו יושבים קומה מעליהם. עשינו רילוקיישן לאנשי מפתח, סקוט ציין את מיקי, את ערן, את אלעד, אנשים של ביג, אנשים שזורם להם בוורידים דם של ביג, אנשים שנמצאים בביג כבר בערך 10 שנים פלוס מינוס, היו פה, הם מכירים את הפילוסופיה הניהולית שלנו, הם יודעים מה אנחנו רוצים, יודעים מה אנחנו צריכים, הם יודעים את היום-יום של מה שאתם יודעים שעשינו כאן, הם מביאים לארצות הברית, ביחד עם רד, הם נמצאים שם, והם עושים את העבודה היומיומית, כפי שעשינו בארץ, עושים שם בשיתוף פעולה מוחלט. סקוט ציין את זה, סקוט הסביר את זה, אנחנו מסבירים את זה מדי שבוע במצגות שאנחנו באים לספר לכם על מה קורה אצלנו, אבל בסופו של דבר זה היום-יום שלנו בארצות הברית. אנחנו לא משקיעים פיננסיים, אנחנו לא משקיעים שקונים והולכים, אנחנו חלק מהותי, חלק משמעותי ממה שקורה במרכזים, אנחנו דוחפים, מובילים, מעורבים. נקודה נוספת, טיוב פורטפוליו הנכסים שלנו. זה כמובן, במה שקורה היום בארצות הברית, זה אתגר חשוב וזה דבר מאוד מאוד מהותי. אנחנו עושים פעולות, כפי שראיתם את ההודעה שלנו, שלשום בבוקר. אנחנו עושים פעולות על מנת שאנחנו נהיה שקטים ובטוחים, שתיק הנכסים שלנו, המרכזים שאותם אנחנו מחזיקים, יהיו מרכזים שאנחנו בטוחים שמסוגלים להתמודד עם האתגרים של השנים הבאות, מרכזים שיכולים להביא את הלקוחות, מרכזים שיש סיבה להגיע אליהם, מרכזי לייפסטייל, מרכזים שנותנים בילוי, הסעדה, מרכזים שמשלבים עירוב שימושים. בשוק האמריקאי, בשונה קצת מהשוק שלנו, יש מוכרים, יש קונים. לקחנו 6 מרכזים שעשינו עליהם ערכים מאוד מאוד יפים, קנינו אותם בקאפ גבוה, השבחנו את ה-NOI, אולם הם מרכזים שאנחנו לא בטוחים שיכולים להתמודד עם מה שצפוי בשנים הבאות בשוק האמריקאי ומה שהלקוחות ירצו בשנים הבאות. בשביל זה אנחנו עושים מהלכים, אנחנו לא נחים, אנחנו לא שקטים, אנחנו לא יושבים ונהנים ממה שנוצר, אנחנו כל הזמן דואגים שבפיוטר הנכסים שלנו יהיו נכסים שלא יוכלו להיפגע וישארו דומיננטיים בכל מרחב שהם נמצאים. העסקה שדיווחנו עליה שלשום, 6 מרכזים אנחנו הולכים למכור, במקביל אנחנו רוכשים חלק מנכס שראיתם את התמונות שלו, הוא נכס מדהים, הוא בדיוק מה שצריך בשביל השנים הבאות בארצות הברית, ריטייל, אופיס, רזידנשל, בית מלון, כל מה שצריך בשביל שלקוחות יגיעו והנכס ימשיך לייצר NOI ולהשביח את עצמו. נקודה שלישית, בעצם השינוי האסטרטגי הניהולי שביצענו מאפשר לנו להיות מעורבים במה שקורה במרכזים שלנו ברמה יומיומית, כפי שעשינו בישראל, כפי שאנחנו עושים גם בסרביה. אנחנו מתמקדים, וסקוט שמע ממני את המילה 100%, 100%, 7,000 פעם. אנחנו שואפים להעלות את אחוז האכלוס של המרכזים שלנו. אנחנו מבצעים פעולות יומיומיות בשביל לדחוף את אחוז האכלוס. שיווק, בדיקת עומסים, דוחות ברמה הגבוהה ביותר על מנת שלא נופתע משום דבר, שנהיה במצב שאנחנו יודעים מה קורה, אנחנו ערים למה שקורה ואנחנו עושים פעולות, ולא פחות חשוב, השינוי הניהולי הזה מאפשר לנו לקבל החלטות במהירות. אנחנו נמצאים שם, כפי שכבר אמרנו, כפי שציינו, ביחד עם אנשי רד, יום יום, מסתכלים על הדברים, מקבלים החלטות במהירות, ולא פחות חשוב בעולם היום שמשתנה כל כך מהר, מבצעים את ההחלטות מהר וביעילות. כל הדברים האלה יכולים להישמע לפעמים קצת כסיסמאות, אז אנחנו רוצים להראות לכם כמה דוגמאות קטנות. בכל המרכזים שלנו היום יש לנו רשימות של to-do list ארוכות מאוד, עם אפשרויות השבחה מדהימות. כל בית כזה, כל מסעדה, זה אפשרות לייצר ערך של מיליוני דולרים, העלאה משמעותית של ה-NOI. כל אחד מהמרכזים שלנו יש לו את האפשרות להשביח את עצמו, ואנחנו עובדים בזה. יש פה כמה דוגמאות שאני ארוץ עליהן במהירות, בשביל שתבינו, פשוט בשביל שתראו את הדוגמאות של הדברים הקטנים שקורים, כי בסוף מרכזי קניות זה להתעסק בדברים קטנים, לגרום להם לקרות. חלקכם ביקרו איתנו בשנה האחרונה בקריות ובקרמיאל, וראו בעיניים את הדברים שעשינו, את השינויים שעשינו. אין קסמים במרכזי קניות, זה רק עבודה של עוד פרויקט ועוד שינוי ועוד נקודה, ובסוף ה-NOI צומח. פולרטון, לקחנו פה בפינה מסעדה, כמו שאתם רואים פה, לקחנו מסעדה שנתנה 100 ומשהו אלף דולר בשנה, עשינו פרויקט בהשקעה של 2.8 מיליון דולר, תוספת ל-NOI של 380 אלף דולר, השבחנו את תמיל הסוחרים במרכז, הבאנו לפה 4 עסקים שכל אחד מהם הוא אטרקטיבי, הוא מביא עוד לקוחות, השבחנו את ה-NOI, השבחנו את ה-value ויצרנו בניין. ככה זה נראה. עוד דוגמה קטנה, סקוט ציין את המרכז הזה, וילג' פוינט באומה, נכון לראות מרכז מדהים שיושב על הצירים הראשיים, נחשב מספר אחד במרחב שבו הוא פועל. אנחנו משתדלים שכל אחד מהמרכזים שאנחנו מחזיקים והחלטנו שהם יהיו איתנו לאורך זמן, יהפוך להיות, אם הוא לא כבר, השולט בקטגוריה ובמרחב שבו הוא פועל. בסופו של דבר, בשוק של הסוחרים בארצות הברית, שלעיתים מצמצמים שטחים, הם יצמצמו שטחים. יש סיכוי טוב שהם יצמצמו שטחים כי הם צריכים להתייעל. המטרה שלנו שהם יצמצמו שטחים אצל אחרים ולא אצלנו, וכשהם ירצו לבחור לעצמם את המקום הטוב ביותר להיות במרחב דמוגרפי, זה יהיה במרכז שלנו. מרכז כמו וילג' פוינט, מרכז שלקחנו חנות של אפל שעשתה ביצועים מדהימים, באו אלינו אפל, ביקשו להגדיל את החנות. ברור לכם שמרכז שיש לו אפל זה שונה לחלוטין ממרכז ללא אפל. על אחת כמה וכמה מרכז שאפל באים אלינו והם מבקשים להגדיל. זה בוצע בשנה האחרונה, זה נפתח בחודש יוני. חנות מדהימה של כמעט 800 מטר של אפל. אין שום ספק, השבחה למרכז בהיבט של הלקוחות שיבואו וירצו להגיע למרכז הזה, השבחה ל-NOI, השבחה לערך. אפילו במקרה הזה יש גם פוטנציאל להשבחה בקאפ שהמרכז יקבל, כי חנות כזאת רוב המרכזים לא מקבלים בארצות הברית. בנוסף, לקחנו עשינו הסכם עם בית הקולנוע, כפי שהבנתם בעסקות, לפעמים בארצות הברית, לסוחרים גדולים יש approval rights. לקחנו את הקולנוע, עשינו איתו הסכם על שיפוץ, ששחרר לנו את האפשרות לבנות פה פד נוסף, בדיוק כמו בפולרטון, זה משהו שיקרה השנה. יש לזה כבר תוכניות, עובדים על זה, זה התוכניות. 3 חנויות נוספות, כנראה 3 מסעדות, שיביאו עוד לקוחות למרכז. מייצרים NOI, משביחים את הvalue, משביחים את איכות המרכז. ג'ורדן לנדינג, מרכז ענק, אני חושב שחלק מכם ביקרו בו, מרכז עוצמתי שיושב על צירים ראשיים, נמצא בסולט סיטי, נחשב המרכז החזק ביותר במרחב שבו הוא פועל. יש לו בית קולנוע שנחשב ביפר החזק ביותר במרחב הזה. לקחנו את המתחם שצמוד, זה הקולנוע, לקחנו את המתחם שצמוד אליו בהשקעה של $15 מיליון. אנחנו הולכים לשפץ את כל המתחם הזה. זה ייראה ככה. תוספת משמעותית לחוויית הלקוח, חוויית הבילוי, סיבה להגיע, אינטרטיימנט לילדים, קומדי קלאב בערבים, מסעדות הטובות ביותר באזור סולט לייק סיטי. עוד פעם, השבחה לתמיל המרכז בהיבט של הלקוחות והסיבה להגיע וההתמודדות עם העתיד, וכמובן פרויקט בצורה שאנחנו נהנה גם בהיבט הפיננסי. ווטרפרונט פיטסבורג, מרכז עוצמתי של מעל 2 קילומטר מקצה לקצה, יש בו הכל, לפגוע בו, להפיל אותו, אני יכול להגיד, בלתי אפשרי. כל סוחר גדול רוצה להיות במקום כזה, מכיל בוקסס שעושים ביצועים מצוינים, מכיל מתחם לייפסטייל, מכיל מסעדות, בית קולנוע. המרכז הזה, שהוא לא מנוהל על ידי רד ברמה היומיומית, הבאנו את רד בשביל להיות המנהל של ה-redevelopment של המרכז הזה ושל פעולות ההשבחה. זה תוכנית עבודה, הבאנו דוגמה גם של תוכנית עבודה, פשוט שתבינו מה אנחנו עושים יום-יום, אנחנו חלק מזה, אנחנו מעורבים, האנשים שלנו מעורבים יום-יום. אני נמצא שם פעם בחודשיים מקסימום, איתן מגיע פעם ב3 חודשים. אנחנו לא משקיע פיננסי, אנחנו מנהלים את הביזנס שלנו בארצות הברית ברמה היומיומית. אנחנו שם בשביל לייצר ערך. התוכנית הזאת, אתם רואים פה לפי הצבעים, כל צבע יש לו משמעות, לכל צבע יש פרויקט, לכל צבע זה משהו שיקרה בחודשים הקרובים, בשנה הקרובה. בארצות הברית לפעמים דברים לוקחים יותר זמן, כפי שסקוט ציין, בארצות הברית הוא לא יכול לעשות עסקאות עם הראל ויזל, לשבת איתו ב7 בבוקר במשרד ולסגור 10 חנויות. זה עולם שונה, זה עולם אחר. לאנשי רד, שהם חלק מאיתנו, יש את היכולות האלה. יש את היכולות להגיע למקביל של הראל ויזל בחברת רוס, אי שם בארצות הברית, ולעשות איתו עסקה. זה משהו שלהרבה מאוד חברות בארצות הברית אין את היכולת הזאת, לנו יש. עוד פעם, פיטסבורג, קולנוע הולך לעבור שדרוג מאוד משמעותי, מה ששחרר לנו את המספר 9 פה, הולכים לעשות מסעדה. פה, בארנס ונובל, הולכים לעבור למספר 6, מה שישחרר לנו כל העסק הזה, לייצר מגוון של מסעדות. לא רוצה להיכנס לכל נקודה, אבל הדברים פה קורים, ובסוף אנחנו משפצים את כל המרחב שמול הקולנוע, וזה הולך להיראות ככה. עוד פעם, חוויית לקוח, חוויית משתמש, סיבה להגיע. בארצות הברית של השנים הבאות, בלי לייצר סיבה ללקוחות, לתת להם את הפאן, לתת להם את הסיבה לצאת מהבית, להתרענן, יהיה קשה. אנחנו מתעסקים בזה, דרך אגב, לא רק בארצות הברית, גם בארץ. אנחנו לא מהססים להוציא מה שצריך ולשפר את חוויית הלקוח. יש לי עוד עשרות דוגמאות, עשרות פרויקטים שנמצאים כרגע בארצות הברית בעבודה יומיומית. אנחנו שם בשביל לעבוד, לעשות את הדברים יום-יום, לשפר את המרכזים, לדאוג שהמרכזים שלנו לא רק שלא ייפגעו, אלא ייצרו ערך והשבחה. אנחנו יודעים לעשות את זה. את מה שעשינו בארץ, אנחנו נעשה גם בארצות הברית. תודה.